Hello and welcome to a Shipper Metal review. This one is for Kaideka's new offering called A Blissful Image of a Dystopian Vision, which is due out on the 18th of May later on this year, 2013. Now Kaideka are one of those bands that in my mind have always been around, a firm favourite, a hidden gem and a live performance that should not be missed. 2011 saw the release of their debut album, False Idols and Pyrite Thrones, under the dubious reign of Rising Records. The album, however, was blistering, showing that thrash could be brought into the modern day. A Blissful Image of a Dystopian Vision follows on magnificently. If you enjoyed the first album, then this will surely molest you in all the right places too. For many bands, the second album appears rushed compared to the first, and is usually full of tracks that just didn't make the cut for the debut. This is not the case with Kaideka. The album is as strong as its predecessor. Indeed, they have progressed in almost every way. The album starts with spoken word, which is usually not my cup of tea. They are invariably lectures about how society is shit, and this is no exception. I listen to albums when I want music, and for me the beginning of tracks are vitally important. Seconds 1 to 5 are prime skipping opportunities. Luckily the talk is brief, and the lesson ends with this. All is forgiven, Kaideka. The tracks on this album are angry, yet it seems a placed anger, almost productive. Dax's vocals are a fitting guttural growl, spitting out the lyrics which have definitely gained intelligence since their debut offering, and the musicianship maintains the chuggy goodness while simply being technically improved. Areas of this release smack of old new metal, which sounds like a terrible thing. Well, to me it sounds like a terrible thing anyway, but in this case it really isn't. Rather than being shit as most of the new metal bands were, Kaideka have captured the only good bits. I feel a nostalgia for the bands whose music ushered me into the world of metal in the first place. Now this is not to say that this album feels dated, it's bang up to date. If this makes no sense to you now, it will when you hear the album. This album, like the one before it, was recorded by Adam Chinner at Freefall Recordings. This, I think, helped the sense of progression rather than change. A Blissful Image is definitely a follow-on to False Idols, a sonic expansion and an improvement which would have been difficult to achieve with a different producer at the helm. All in all, anything negative that could be said about this album is vastly outweighed by the positive. A pure showing that groove and thrash can be brought bang up to date. If you liked the first album, you are bound to love this one too. 8.5 out of 10.